Hello, this is Simracing Corner. I'm back after more Automobilista 2 testing. There was a mixed bag of comments on the first video, which I won't go into detail, and I won't retract my experience, which I commented in the video. It is what it is on my Bodnar direct drive wheel. The force feedback wasn't very good at all, and it made driving the cars difficult for me. I will look into any solutions I can improve with that situation, and we'll let you know if I discover anything that could be useful for other sim racers as well. So that's an ongoing project for me, so look out for that. I did make it clear this is a beta and not officially on sale, and I do trust Reza to improve any problems over time. I checked the analytics for that first video, and the average view time was 50% of the video. So if you didn't watch that video to the end and dropped a negative comment, well, that's a shame for you for not getting the full context of that video. I was drawn to a couple of the comments which mentioned Logitech wheels, and both pointed to the possibility that Logitech wheels should work well in AMS2. And fortunately, I do own a Logitech G29, and I've been back in AMS2 to see if it's any better, along with some new footage and my updated findings. Off the bat, AMS2 is much more drivable and enjoyable using this sub £200 G29 over my £3,000 Bodnar direct drive wheel, which is of course quite surprising, but again I stress this is a beta version of the game, so it doesn't worry me, really it doesn't. So at this point in time your experience could well depend on your hardware, and that starts to make sense with some of the comments I've been reading. Most people don't have the opportunity to try AMS2 or indeed any other sim with different hardware, so there will always be a subjective argument when it comes to things like this. So back to the force feedback using the G29, it's not that I'm feeling more detailed or stronger effects coming through the wheel, it just feels more aligned to the behaviour of the car in general. While cornering, it still has a certain level of vagueness. There is resistance of course, but this is an entry level wheel, and nuanced effects you feel through a direct drive wheel are always missing using a wheel like this. That's just the way it is. But the fact of the matter is, this G29 is working great in AMS2. Additionally, I took the opportunity to try some tests comparing AMS to AMS2. I picked a car and track combo I'm very familiar with, specifically the Caterham at Brands Hatch. And I can tell you, the force feedback in AMS2 on the G29 is an improvement over AMS. It is a bit more detailed, it's not that much different, and I don't think you'd be able to tell a difference unless you performed some back-to-back testing, because it is quite a close call. But I would rate AMS2 force feedback to be better, so that's good news for the new title. Moving on to how the cars are behaving between the two titles, they are not driving identically. The difference I can tell on the surface is the Caterham in AMS2 has a bit more oversteer, but generally I'm having no issue driving either car in both games. And on the whole, it's a familiar driving experience between them, so I'm happy with that. Obviously, that's just a tiny sample testing a single car, but an interesting test nevertheless to get started with. So there are some elements of difference with the physics between both titles, but at this point I'll wait for the official AMS2 to release before diving into that with greater scrutiny. And it could be the stock settings could be quite different between the games for those cars, so it's a bit inconclusive at this point in time. So there you have it. It does make perfect sense for Reza to invest their time into making AMS2 to work with popular consumer wheels first, before putting resource into supporting the niche direct drive community. That's fair enough, and I'm sure they'll get round to that in due course. Reza are good guys, and I have total faith that AMS2 is going to be incredible, and if you have a Logitech wheel, I think you will have a really good time in this beta right now. For anybody else who is struggling with AMS2, don't worry, they'll get around to sorting us out. It's going to be cool. And that concludes this AMS2 force feedback follow-up. My attention is very much focused on AMS2 right now, so I'll be bringing out more videos on this game for some time, and that may indeed include some more force feedback related content if there are some new discoveries and updates, etc. Of course I will cover other things other than AMS2, as this is of course a sim racing channel featuring reviews, guides and DIY sim racing projects. Okay then, well thanks for watching. I do appreciate all the comments. It is all about sharing views and experiences to support the sim racing community. Positive and negative comments are welcome as long as they're not hateful, of course. So finally, happy simming out there guys, and bye bye for now.